Okay, good afternoon, listeners. You're welcome to the Tech Talk Show Wednesday with Kazim. And we've started the Microsoft Power Platform series for about 2 weeks now. And today we're still going to continue with the Power Platform series. And today we're going to be talking Microsoft Virtual Agents. That's Microsoft Power Virtual Agents. So Microsoft Power Virtual Agents is the new introduction into the Microsoft Power Platform family, and it allows us to manage bots without having to code. And on today's episode of the show, I have Samuel Andranyi with me today, all the way from Ghana. So Samuel is going to be helping us better understand the Microsoft Virtual Agents. Good afternoon, Samuel. And how are you doing this afternoon, Samuel?
Good afternoon, Kazim. I'm doing awesome. It's a privilege to be on your show. I'm doing great. And as you said, it's always a fun time and an honor to share knowledge and to spread the word on the Power Platform. So I'm on it. And good afternoon to your listeners.
Yeah, thank you so much, Samuel, for joining us this afternoon. So let's get to business, Samuel. But maybe for the listeners who don't know Samuel, do you want to quickly introduce yourself before we delve into business, Samuel?
Yeah, sure, definitely. So Samuel Andranyi is a Ghanaian born, raised tech enthusiast. I've been in the tech business for a little over 15 years. I'm really passionate about technology and its effect on society. I love to, put stuff together to build and to solve problems. For the past couple of years now, I've been out of Ghana, working in the States, doing a few tech-related things, but finally decided to come back home to share the goodness on tech. Apart from this regular stuff, I actually stream 3 times a week. I stream on Tuesdays on IoT. I do a general show on Friday, and I do a power space on Sunday. I'm married with a beautiful daughter. So that's just like a high-level intro about myself.
Okay, Samuel. So let's get to it now, Samuel. So what is Microsoft Power Virtual Agent, and what can we do with this tool, Samuel?
Okay, awesome. Just like Kazim you introduced, so the Microsoft Power Virtual Agent is a new addition to the Power Platform. As you know, there's Power BI, Power Apps, Power Automate, and then the Power Virtual Agent. So the Power Virtual Agent, simply put, it's like a tool or platform that enables teams to easily create like powerful, adaptable AI chatbots, literally with no code and just like a graphical user interface and some guidelines. You can easily create a conversational bot without the need to be a data scientist or a hardcore developer. So simply, that's what the platform is about.
Okay. So, Samuel, how easy is it for one to start using this tool? How do we get started with it? And is this something that is very easy to work with?
Yes, surprisingly, it's an easy to use tool. Now, conventionally, if you wanted to build conversational bots, you needed to understand some form of data science, then you had to be a hardcore developer. Coming from a developer point of view, because I'm a developer as well,
Yeah.
the conventional way of building conversational bots was tedious. But with the Power Virtual Agent, it's just a matter of clicking, typing, dragging, dropping, connecting, and just it. It's very easy that someone with no development skills or programming background can easily build a functional bot within a few minutes.
Wow. So are we saying this tool, is it like some kind of app that we need to have installed on our computer, or is this something we can start to work with on the on the web itself? How do we make use of it? Like if I need to put a mini program together, I need to have a development done using C sharp. I would need to have the Visual Studio installed on my computer to start that's my development of that project. So if I need to build a bot, you've just mentioned now that the virtual agent is one of the tools that we can use to build bots without having to code. So is there a tool that I will need to download on my computer, or how really do people leverage this tool?
So, Kazim, the interesting thing about the PV or the Power Virtual Agent is that you don't need an ID to do it. All
Wow.
you need is a browser, and internet. That's it. It's fully online based. You can go in there right now, create it, and use it. So you don't need to have any expensive workstation or to say that I need my machine to meet certain requirements to be able to download an ID and run. No, this is all happening in the context of the web browser. So
Wow.
currently supports Edge, Chrome, and Firefox.
Okay.
So you can use any of these browsers. And for listeners who want to actually get straight into it, they can go to aka.ms/trypva,
Okay.
aka.ms/trypva. And the portal will open, you can create a trial account, and then you can start building your bot. It's as easy as that.
It's as easy. Wow. So is that straightforward? So you've mentioned the URL now. So will user need to create an account to get started, or is something that you just connect to the website? I know there's this URL too as well that the powervirtualagents.microsoft.com will also get them there. So once they use this URL, will they need to do anything else?
Yes. So you would need an account. As of now, because most of these solutions are targeted towards enterprise use cases, but then you can also use it in small businesses and all that. You will need to have a work account. Now, in the Microsoft terms, when we talk about a work account,
Okay.
we mean accounts that are not the Hotmail or the Outlook or the Line, but accounts that is originating from your company's, let's say, domain. So, for instance, we can say that maybe your Microsoft provided Lasso account. So
Okay.
it could be Kazim at lasso.com. So you need an organizational account to do that. However, if you don't have, let's say you are a hobbyist on an individual and you don't have access to the an organizational account,
Yes.
there are a couple of ways to do it. You can actually sign up to the Microsoft Office 365 Developer Program. That actually gives you a tenant on the Microsoft domain that mimics an organization. So you can go through that process and use the email address you created to actually access Power Virtual Agent. And I actually have a blog post on doing that. So maybe I'll share that with you and
Okay.
then you can probably go check it out. But if listeners go to sadranyi.me, which is my blog site, there is
Okay.
a list of all the blogs I put there, and there's one particular one that shows them how to create the accounts they need.
Very well, Samuel. Like I have Fumi here that co-hosts the show with me as well. So I'm sure she would as well want to know. Fumi, do you have a work account? You've just heard Samuel say now that you need you need a work account to set up
Yeah.
account on the Power platform. So do you have a work account?
No, I don't.
So Samuel, what are you telling Fumi to do now? Fumi doesn't have
So
a work account.
For me, right now, please go to sadranyi.me, SADRANYI.me, which is my website.
Please,
And then just go
can you
look
repeat
for-
that?
Oh, okay, Samuel, he wants you to come again on that, the URL of
Okay,
your
so
website.
it's sadranyi.me, which is S for Samuel,
Mhm.
and then my last name. So one word, SADRANYI.me. If you go to my blog right now, there is a blog post I did on creating the Office 365 developer account. Just it's a technical blog, so it's very
Okay.
detailed, it's step by step.
Okay.
If you go through the process, you will be able to create an organizational account,
Okay.
which you can then use to go try out Power Virtual Automate and then all the other products on the Power Platform. It actually gives you a 12-month free access, in increments of 3 months. So every 3 months, you need to ensure that you are using it, so Microsoft doesn't just provision the the account for you. And that's how members of our community here and other people that I connect with, that's the easiest way to get an account to try all these products.
Okay. Thank you very much, for that, Samuel. So I'm going to ask you quickly, Samuel, before we go on a short break, this tool allows us to build bots without having to code. But we also have other products out there. We have other tools that helps us, with building bots, building chat bots. Even from Microsoft, we could build bots with the Azure bot service. There is the Microsoft Q&A maker, which makes it very similar, to build those very fantastic chat bots. So how would you say this Microsoft Power Virtual Agent stands out, or what makes it different from this other, tool that we can also use to do the same thing, Samuel?
Awesome. That's an amazing question. So, for someone who has actually developed bots using the Azure bot service, the bot framework, I've actually used the Google Dialog Flow. I've used all that. Now, the difference between all these tools and the PVA is that for all the preceding tools, you need some development skills. You need to have an understanding of development. You need to have some level of understanding of data science. For instance, now, if you're using a Power Virtual Agent, you don't need to have any skills in data science or be a developer. It's as simple as dragging and dropping tools, typing in questions, creating topics, and using. The good thing about this, as compared to the other frameworks, is that you don't need to retrain your bots in Power Virtual Agent. The AI component in it automatically does that for you and learns as you use the bot. However, for the other tools, you constantly have to be retraining them for the bot to get smarter and smarter. And because the Power Virtual Agent is connected or has access to the to Power Automate and varying tools of Microsoft services, you can easily connect it to like over 200 connectors, ready-made connectors, from Salesforce to Dynamics to Facebook to, you think about it, I mean, right out of the box. Whereas for for the traditional ways of building it, you have to painfully connect to SDKs, build your interaction, and pretty much you have to build everything from scratch. But for PVA, it's as easy as a walk in the park.
Wow. So that, you've heard it from Samuel. We will need to go on a short break now, and when we're back, we would continue. Thank you for staying with us.
The registration for 2020 WAEC, JAMB, and NECO is in progress. Are you looking for a stress-free way to have your registration? Search no more. Hurry now to Lasso CBT Center inside Lasso Main Campus or JAW. For further inquiries, call Temitope on 0908 789 9045 or 0901 853 9448. Lasso CBT Center is open for all. Come now for your registration.
Build a bot, a chat bot that you can integrate to your website, so it's very easy to do with this tool known as the Microsoft Power Virtual Agent. Samuel, are you still with us, Samuel?
Yeah, I'm right here.
Okay, so for those who are interested in building a career, they want to learn and build a career around Microsoft Virtual Agent or the Microsoft Power Platforms generally. Is there a learning material that you can recommend for those listening?
Yes. There are tons and tons of learning material on the Microsoft website. So if you go to the link I mentioned earlier on, aka.ms.trypva, it takes you to the Power Virtual Agent landing site. And in there are resources. Another point where you can get a lot of resources is the Microsoft Learn website. Okay. The Microsoft Learn. They're actually step-by-step guided hands-on sessions there that one can go through and learn how to do it. But generally also on the Microsoft documentation website, there are a lot of information there. There are a lot of video tutorials there. There are a lot of step-by-step guides there. But primarily, I would advise people who want to get into it to also get involved in the local power communities and then follow the Power Addicts on social media, because these are people that have, are using it, that share info, that share resources, tips and tricks on learning and using it. So these would be my go-to places. Try the Microsoft Learn website, look out for local power communities, follow the Power Addict on all forms of social media, and join the communities online.
Yes, thank you, Samuel. And we do have one also here in Lasso, the CBT Center. We're hosting one of we termed it the Lasso Superpower Saturday. So it's happening next week, Saturday. You're even one of the speakers, at the event as well. So
Yeah.
hopefully,
Yes.
when the listeners, do come to the Lasso CBT Center, so they will have the opportunity to network with you as well. And I know we have another event, an international event coming up in April. So we're hoping to have you down here, in Nigeria with us, with Donna and the likes. Yes. So Samuel, if I know you've done a number of projects. You've worked on a few projects using this tool. So if there is this is a radio show, so the listeners right now don't have the opportunity to see you demo something. So if there is a cool thing you want to show, about things you've done with the Microsoft virtual agent, what will that cool demo be? That you likely want to show to the listeners.
So I can talk over one very simple use case. Even though currently most of the use cases are in the banking and finance and insurance areas, but we can walk through a use case that we can actually build out. I mean, if all things go well, I can actually do that on my Friday show, and then there'll be a video for them to watch. But we can walk through it.
Okay.
How many times have we as customers complain about the poor customer service that we receive from various service providers? A lot of times, right?
Yeah.
Another pain point is that it is, let's say, it's 10 p.m. or even, let's not go too deep. It is 8 p.m. in the night. You're trying to find some information from your service provider.
Yes.
They don't run 24/7 call centers, right?
Yes.
I mean, these are some of the pain points that the board framework or the Power Virtual Agent allows us to solve. So I'm going to give you an example. Let's say that I've ordered some things, all right?
Yes.
And I want to track when the order is supposed to arrive. And for some reason, the company that I'm using doesn't provide 24/7 call center, all right? And doesn't have any ways for me to check. Now, if you put in a virtual agent, all right,
Yes.
that takes in your order number, or in some cases, even your email and your phone number, is able to go into the backend and retrieve the order details and can tell you where the status of your order is. That is one of the use cases. Even to the extent that if your order is in transit, and thanks to IoT as well, and if properly architected, the current position or GPS position of the delivery truck or the delivery Okada can actually be relayed to the agent for the agent to actually tell you in real time, as of now, your item is actually in transit and at this position, arriving in so and so minutes. That is just one use case.
Okay, Samuel. How about we do this, Samuel? We have this last Friday of the month show, a webinar. So how about we try to cook up something and let's see if we can share the link with the listeners, so if they can connect in on Friday for you to show them something. How about that, Samuel? Would that work?
That'll be awesome.
Okay.
That'll be perfect. We can demo something out, create some fictitious company and try to do something.
Okay, very well. Thank you so much, Samuel. So hopefully on Friday, so we're going to see how easy, you've been mentioning that, this tool is super easy to use. So we're going to be seeing you, demo it to us, how easy it is to use this tool. Yes, before we call it a wrap on the show today, usually when I come on the show, I come with, some of our interns, the Lasso CBT, and also my colleague here, Fumi, also like to ask some questions. So I'm sure, both of them will have questions for you. So we can start with the intern now. So I'll get him to introduce himself, and if there's a question for you from him.
All right, so just mention your name so that our guests can just pick it from there. So what's your name?
My name is Ahmed Oyewole.
Oyewole. So do you have a question for our guest?
Okay, I have a question for him. The question I have for our guest is that, though he has talked about most things that we need to do to go online to know about the Power Platform, and the application. I wanted to ask him is how easy is it to build a career with PVA? Is this something that is very can anybody can just do, whether you do have a background in IT or not?
Did you get that question, Samuel? Yes, he wants to find out how to build. I guess for him, he doesn't have an IT background, so he wants to know. So if it's a career that he's considering, so how easy is it going to be for him to build a career in around Microsoft Power Platform?
It's quite, it's amazing you ask this. If he has been following a lot of the power, revolution going on, people with no IT background, people, for instance, I keep using Samit Seni as an example. He was a security man at Heathrow Airport, and he just picked Power Apps, built an app that transformed, Heathrow's paper processes. Today, he's built a career as a specialist adoption for Heathrow. So anybody, irrespective of your skill set, irrespective of your background, you can pick something in the Power Platform and make a career out of it. It could be business intelligence with Power BI. It could be apps with Power Apps. It could be conversational bots with PVA. It could even be business process automation with Power Automate. So it is very easy.
Okay, so Samuel, I have a question for you. It's concerning the tools we use for the PVA. You were talking about the advanced tools that for you to be really inclined in this, you have to go for classes, extra lessons, and all of that. You even talked about the data scientist and everything. But for we that are beginners, which of the classes will you recommend?
So if you ask me, in my earlier submission, the good thing about the Power Virtual Agent is that it eliminates the need to be or even understand data science. It eliminates the need to be a hardcore developer. So for you trying to get into the Power Platform with the Power Virtual Agent, my only advice for you is go try it right now. Start building use cases. Just keep building. And the more you build, the more you understand the platform and use it. You don't need to have any extra skills in addition. However, if you want to take it a step further and do maybe a lot of complicated stuff or a lot of complex